Hey guys, welcome to our second episode of You Belong. Today we're going to talk about how do you help your parents help you become a college graduate. Stay tuned. So let's talk orientation programs. For my freshman students, orientation programs are an opportunity for you as well as your parents to get to know the university a lot better. Within the orientation programs, you're going to have a chance to meet a lot of your classmates. Some of your classmates are going to take the same classes as you. Some of them you're going to live together with inside the residence hall. Some of them you'll be able to talk with about joining campus organizations and just being a big part of the university itself. The orientation programs that you are a part of are very important because they give you an opportunity to get to know the campus as a whole. Professors usually participate, residence life departments, student affairs, and orientation is a time for you and your family to really learn about what's important for the university and what's available to you. These are the resources that are available to you as a college student. Now, as you're going through college, you're going to hear a lot about student fees. I encourage you to talk with your university about what your student fees pay for. Sometimes you can find this in the student handbook if a university still gives a physical handbook, or a lot of universities have moved to online handbooks. So talk with your university about what are your student fees pay for. For some universities, orientation will happen throughout the summer, and they'll have several different ones, especially if it's a larger university. So make sure you're paying attention again to your email as well as your mail to sign up for these very important orientation events. Orientation events will sometimes say that they are optional, but as a first-generation college student, we need to make sure we understand that orientation events for us are mandatory. They really, again, help us to understand this new environment that we're about to be on as college students. So attending them is very important. If you haven't already heard about orientation events for your school, call your campus today and talk with them about the dates that are happening. Some schools actually have orientation events maybe a few days before your regular classes start. So they allow you to move into the campus early. When I was a director of residence life, we would train our entire staff about fun ways that we can welcome our newest students. So some of our new students were freshmen, and some of our new students were actually transfers from other universities. Regardless of where they were within their academic year, we wanted to make sure that they felt appreciated and welcome. So you'll have lots of fun events that happen during orientation. And as you're going through, I encourage you to let loose, drop your guard, enjoy, and just begin to start what it means to be a college student. Another important piece is understanding that as you transition into college, remember I told you last time, I want to make sure that you're having a conversation with your parents and your family. So these conversations are ongoing conversations. So if you are new to a college environment, the conversations you want to have when you're attending orientation, your university may also have parent sessions during orientation. So really encourage your parents to attend that. With some of these, the parent sessions, they are only for parents. So the university will split the student away from the parents and have really important conversations with them. So what are the conversations during parent orientation? I love to talk with them about transitioning and what that means for your student. Within the college and university, there is this phrase called helicopter parents. And if you haven't already heard this phrase, let me tell you a little bit about it. So within higher ed, we know helicopter parents as those that literally hover around their students. So why is this term important within higher ed? The term gives us an opportunity as higher education professionals to understand how do we work with parents as you are transitioning into your adult space. How do we help parents to also see you as an adult? And so the hovering piece, I remember when I started off in higher education, the hovering piece, I kind of took the attitude of I want to push those parents away. They're doing too much for their student. They're clouding their students, and they're not as helpful for their students. But now, after being in the field for over a decade, I really like to partner with parents that I consider to be helicopter parents, because these parents are in tune with what's happening with their child and want to know what's happening with their schools. So a way to really help your parent, if they are considered a helicopter parent, which is not always bad, is to get them involved in different ways. So let's say that your mom calls you 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, and you don't want to push your mom away, but you want to help her to understand what that does for you as a student. So maybe you're not able to study as much. Maybe you're not able to have more time with friends. And it's important to have that conversation with your mom and just saying, I love you, Mom, but let's talk about the phone calls and talk about how we can balance those calls so that you still hear from me, but I get a chance to really explore this new life as a college student. So even making a plan with your parent is a pretty good idea, and saying if five calls is too much for you, talk with your parent about limiting that call and going down to maybe 3. And as you progress, really working with your mom and your dad to figure out what works for you. Maybe texting is better. And if your parent is not as tech savvy, maybe this is a chance for her to learn from other parents. That's another great thing about the university is you really want to encourage your parents and your family to get to know other parents and family. And they don't just have to get to know the ones of first generation students. Encourage them to get to know all types of different parents. They're going to see this during orientation. If there is a parents organization on the campus, even better. If you have a mom or a dad or a family member that's very involved and wants to stay involved within your college education, encourage them to join the parents organization. In parents organization, talk with your admissions staff if they have a parents organization on campus. And if they don't have one on campus, this could be a great opportunity for your parents to maybe start one. Even as a parent of a first generation college student, you don't have to know everything about going through the process. The voice of a parent who's a first generation college student parent is very valuable. Another thing I wanted to make sure that you talk with your parents about is FERPA. F-E-R-P-A. And pretty much what this means in a nutshell is, once you become a college student, your educational records are protected, even from your parents. So in order for your parents to find out what's happening on the campus and how you're doing as a student, they have to speak to you about it. Or you can give consent for your parents to receive information about your records. So when you're going through, during orientation, they usually talk with students and parents about this. If you haven't already encountered this, talk with your admissions office or talk with your registrar or your financial aid office to find out more information about FERPA. But it's really important that you understand what FERPA means for you and your family. And as an adult now, within the college environment, you have to give permission for that to actually happen. So guys, thank you so much again for joining me. Thanks for all the love that's happening on Twitter and the comments that are being left on the page of You Belong. We are looking forward to joining you each and every Friday right here on You Belong. So send your comments. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up if this is really helping you. If there are questions that you have that I can answer for you as the weeks to come, I want to be able to do that. No, this is really your show, and it's about what you want to see and what you want to hear as you're moving through becoming a college graduate. So until next time, guys, remember that you are beautifully and wonderfully made, and you belong. Take care. Bye.